everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So, can you guess who I am? Yeah? No? It's very subtle. Not obvious at all. God, my teeth look so yellow because I'm technically blue-grey kind of colour. Oh my god. Wow, okay. We won't smile too much. Yeah, this is our last Halloween look, and this is Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. I was going to say Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare Before Christmas. I wanted to keep this one to last because of most of Tim Burton's characters. To me, Jack and Sally, they're the two biggest ones. The most famous, the most, you know, memorabilia, blah blah blah. You can get merchandise, blah, blah, blah. When you think Tim Burton, you think Nightmare Before Christmas. So it just made sense for how these two as the last two, and together because they're together. They're so cute. But yeah, and I wanted Sally to be the last one as the big last one because it's the most colourful. I love the wig. Well, it's a very cheap wig and I haven't applied it very well, and I've kind of clipped the sides in because it actually has a fringe, but Sally doesn't have a fringe, so yeah. And it's not the most expensive wig, and it's probably a little bit too bright, but this is what I had to work with. The other thing I didn't have to work with was an actual dress. So this is all body paint. No, I'm not naked. I've got a top on. But this is body painted on. Obviously, I would recommend buying an outfit if you could. One, most of the ones that I wanted were too expensive for me. Two, they wouldn't have got here on time. And three, I'm only wearing it for like all of about 10 minutes. So, well, I've been doing this for about 4 hours, but 10 minutes for actual video time. So yeah, I wasn't going to do that. Obviously paint your arms if you are going to do, I've only painted to like as much as you can see in the video because I'm cheating, but if you are going out with this, paint your arms in body paint the same colour as your actual face. So yeah, do your stitches all the way down. I just got loads of pictures and I just followed the pictures as best I could. Colours aren't completely accurate. There's, you know, what I could find from pictures. I kind of just made it nice and bright and colourful and blah blah, but they are kind of accurate, so hopefully. But yeah, I love this look so much. I actually am really happy with how this turned out. I wasn't sure about it when I was doing the actual face makeup before I had the wig, before I had all this done, all the stitches done. I was like, definitely look like Corpse Bride. So they're very similar makeups. And I'm actually filming Corpse Bride after I film this one, but this is the last one that's going up. Does that make sense? So I'm filming Corpse Bride in a couple of days, but then I'm uploading this one last. Corpse Bride should be up already, but it's actually quite similar. I tried to make this a bit more grey though, because Corpse Bride is a bit more blue. This is going to be a little bit more grey. So yeah, if you want to be Sally and see how to be Sally, and also see some body painting that I did that I'm not very good at, but I tried, then keep on watching. Alrighty guys, we are going to start off this look with a boob tube. I'm not naked. This is, I just put a little top on, took the straps down and tucked it into my bra, and then I've already covered up my brows using a washable glue stick. I'm using just a white liner here just to start mapping out where I want the dress to be, so the actual colour of the dress. Just using a white liner for that because it will make it easier if I need to remove anything or go over it with any other colour, just to generally get an idea as to where I want to place it. Then on my eyes, I'm going in with my MAC 24 Hour Extend Eye Base, just to prime my eye and help it last. This makeup was only on for all of about an hour or two because I just took pictures, did my video and then took it off. But yeah, I would prime my eye anyway just to help the colour stay on. Then I'm going in with my NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk, and I'm applying that kind of like we did in the Corpse Bride, so along my lower lash line, very thickly along my lower lid and into my waterline as well. And this just gives the illusion that the eyes are bigger, rounder. They give more of that Tim Burton doe eye, very sad looking eyes effect. Then I'm going in with my infamous MAC Full Coverage in white, mixing a little bit of the Kryolan 091 shade, which is a like a mid-tone blue, and a little bit of the shade 517, which is a mid-tone grey, and I'm using a spatula to mix that together and came up with this kind of grey blue sort of shade. So Corpse Bride was definitely more blue. I definitely mixed more blue into it, where this has a bit more grey in it. So you can kind of mix it and match it yourself. It looks quite blue here because I've got nothing else on my face, but when I do have other products on my face, it does look more grey. And we're just buffing that on using a Real Techniques buffing brush to get everywhere. And I'm bringing it down onto my neck as well, just to make sure I have everywhere covered that's going to be exposed. Make sure you get right under your chin as well, because I feel like that's a place that can be forgotten. And I also did my parts of my ears that I think might be seen. And just in case, I didn't do my entire arm, but I did do a little bit of my arm where the end of my sleeve would be. Then I'm setting it with the MAC translucent powder, the Prep and Prime translucent powder, just to set that all into place and help it hold. And because we use a full cover tonation, we don't really need any concealer unless you want to highlight with concealer. And I'm also setting my neck, and I also set those little bits on my arms as well. Now, if you are doing this yourself, you can paint your whole arms as well. I didn't want to. Like I said, this stayed on me for about an hour, and then I took it off. And here I am setting my arms. But to be honest, I didn't even see it in the video that I noticed. Onto the eyes, I'm going to take the shade 388 from Inglot. This, I'm pretty sure I used all these colours in the Corpse Bride look, minus the purples. But I'm taking that on a 214 brush, I think it is from MAC. It's that little short stubby brush. And just running that along the very edge of that white jumbo pencil that we put on the bottom lash line. And then I'm bringing it around in a very rounded shape in the crease. Again, similar to the Corpse Bride sort of eye. And really build that up as well. And to blend that out, I'm using the shade 501 from Inglot. And just on a MAC 221 brush, and we're just using that to buff out that blue shade and add a bit more grey to it, because like I said, this look is going to be more like grey toned, even though it is blue, but more grey toned. And the Corpse Bride is definitely more blue, purple, like royal blues kind of colours. So just going in until you're happy with how that is blended, and blend it up as high as you want. You go big if you want to, as much as you want to. I'm also blending along that lower lash line as well, just to soften everything out. I also brought it down very far underneath my eye to give that like dark circle sunken eye sort of effect. That's a classic Tim Burton look. I then went back in and redefined with a little bit more of that shade, the 388 shade, the bluey kind of colour we used first, just to redefine it and make sure we didn't lose any of that slightly bluer tone. And I went in with a MAC 217 just to blend a little bit more of that into the crease, just to make sure it's nice and soft. I did the same thing on the lower lash line, so adding a little bit more just to redefine it. And then using my 217 from MAC with the same shade on it to buff out along the lower lash line. And I use a big brush for this because I don't mind how far down this goes. In fact, I want it to go down quite far. So again, do it as much as you wish. The next shade I used is the shade 483, which is from Inglot as well. And I use that on a small little brush and just pop that into my crease to darken it a little bit more. But before I did anything else on my lower lash line, I forgot that I needed to set it. So I used the shade 373, which is a matte white, to set my lower lash line. Don't know how the blue didn't stick to it, it just didn't. But I did forget to do that, which I should have done originally. Then going in with the shade Baseline or Baseline from Colourpop, which is a periwinkle blue sort of shade, like a bluey purpley kind of colour. And it's a nice bit of shimmer to it, and I'm just popping that on to my lid in a very rounded sort of shape, sticking with that shape we created in the crease. And then just to blue it up and make it a bit more icy and grey toned, I'm going with the shade Heavenly from Colourpop, which is not a grey colour, it's just it's still quite blue, but it's a bit more icy, so it just tones that purpliness down that we put on with the baseline. But I love the mix of these two together on the lid. Next I'm going in with the shade 63 from Inglot, and I used that, I kind of did it on one side and I started doing it on the other side and forgot that I was not recording. So I used that with a small little detail brush to define the darkest, deepest parts of the crease. And then going in with my MAC, what is it called? Extended Play Mascara, and I completely forgot what that was called. And then on my inner corner for my highlight, oh, I didn't do any mascara on my bottom lashes, by the way, because I wanted them to be white still. I'm going in with the shade Arctic Glow from the Huda Beauty Winter Highlight Palette. And this is definitely more blue tone, where in the other look I used a bit of purple as well, but this one I definitely wanted more blue. And I just popped that onto the inner corners of my eyes. Now these lashes I have for a million years. They're from the Powder Lounge. I don't know what they're called, but they have this like purple blue hue off them, and they're kind of spiky as well, which I quite liked for like a sad sort of doll look to the eye. So I decided to use them, and they're blue, so they kind of work. Then I'm going in with the shade 501 from Inglot again, and I'm using this as my contour. So we're just popping that into the hollows of the cheeks, and contour as much as you want to on your face. I went quite heavy with the contour on this. I probably went heavier in the Corpse Bride look, but I've gone quite heavy in this as well. And just going up the sides of my temples, and just make sure it's nice and blended. And I also went up to the sides of the forehead as well, just to give a bit more dimension onto the face. Then I'm going back in with the shade 4A3, which is the navy, using that also on that same contour brush. And just using that to deepen up the hollows of my cheeks and all the contoured areas and make it a bit more blue tone, just so it blends together. I'm also taking a mix of both of those shades, so I'm starting with the grey first and then the dark blue to contour my nose, which I for some reason cut off. Moving on to the actual body paint of this. Now this took a while, but I was so happy with how this turned out. I took the Snazaroo yellow face paint and just obviously mix it with water, it's water activated paint, and just painted it onto the collar part of my right side and the sleeve of my left arm. So those are the two areas that were going to be yellow. You can definitely mute these down a lot more because her actual dress in the movie is definitely more muted down, but I know that these are the colours and this is a more kind of cartoony version of her. So that's what I wanted to do with this. And I did about 2 coats of each of these paints, by the way, just to let you know. And making the edges a little bit more jagged as well, I found looks really cool because it's more like torn material. And you can go hyper realistic as well if you want to. The next shade I'm just using is the pink. Let me just double check. It's pink. Bright pink is what it's called. And again, I did 2 coats of this. So your color on your left side is going to be pink. And then your sleeve on your right side is going to use the turquoise shade, which is just like a light blue. And just making sure that any exposed skin is covered. So anywhere that on camera it was going to show up for me, I covered up. Then I'm taking the shade 4A3 again, or no, sorry, wrong shade, 498, which is more of a grey, a dark kind of gunmetal grey that's not really shimmery, it's more matte. And I use that just along the edges of the collar, just to give a bit more of a shadow and make it look like it's actually, you know, a dress sitting on my skin as opposed to just drawn on. And for my face highlight, my nose highlight, my cheek highlight, all my highlights on my face, I used a mix of the Arctic Glow from the Huda Beauty Winter Palette and also the Jeffree Star Ice Cold Skin Frost as well. For the lip, her lip is like a deep red sort of shade, so I went in with MAC's Chestnut Lip Pencil, which is a deep chocolate brown lip pencil. And I also filled in my entire lip with that. And I used this brown because I didn't want it to go too purple, which I find sometimes can when you do a dark red. And for the red, we use MAC's Russian Red, which is one of my favourite reds. And this just gives you that real nice deep blood, ox blood kind of colour of a red. Going back to the body paint after it's all dry now. On my face, you're going to do some stitches and like, you know, rip marks that are stitched back up. So I'm just using the black face paint from Snazaroo, and I just followed a picture. So the only way I can describe it is following a picture. I did one along my eye, some coming out of her mouth, and you can do crisscrosses, diagonal lines, normal stitches, any which way you want. You can make it look super realistic and shade it all. I didn't, because again I wanted to go more cartoon like. Also, along the edges of each colour on your body paint, like your dress part of the body paint, we just are going to go along with that black as well, just to give more of a seam. And I just use a small little liner brush. It was the MAC 210 brush that I use, and again making the edges like wobbly and jaggy and all that kind of stuff. And if you heard that beep, that's just me putting my computer on charge. So yeah, just doing crisscrosses across this line. You can do them as big or as small. I'm just doing some normal lines now and just mix and match, and I think it looks really, really fun. Very Tim Burton like, very Sally like, and I love how this body paint turned out on me. It's my first time doing a proper body paint like this, and I actually found it very difficult, but really, really, like, I was very proud of it at the end. Then over the pink part of her dress, she has like this kind of filigree swirl sort of pattern going on with the black as well. So I'm just drawing that, just doing random swirls. You can go as neat as you possibly can if you want to. I'm not very neat with this kind of stuff, especially over these, like, you know, the areas that have like more movement with like your collarbone when you're trying to paint. It's kind of hard, but I tried my best and I think it looked pretty effective in the finished look. And then on the sleeve, on the yellow sleeve on my left side, I just did some straight lines going from my shoulder down to the edge of the paint. And like I said, following pictures is the easiest way to do it. And that's the finished look. Alright guys, so this is our finished look. This is our last Halloween look. I actually love doing all these videos. These were so fun. A lot of work, a lot of prep. My back hurts because I've been trying to sit up straight as much as I possibly could, but like straight, not up against my chair. This is the way I should actually really sit, but I wasn't, so that's just my fault. Yeah, I love this look. I love how this turned out. I love the fact that I have wigs now that I can actually play with and do other bits with. You can see my arms. My armpits and stuff, but yeah, I'm very happy with this. This is like my favorite part. I love how this looks now. This is actually so cool. I have to get all this off me now, and hopefully I don't stain, because my skin loves colour and loves to be stained. But I got the other one off. I got Jack off. I'm gonna say easy enough, not really. It was like a half struggle. It took about 3 goes with the Clinique Take the Day Off Balm. About 3 goes with that, and then some cotton pads, damp cotton pads. Process, but I got it, and then I had a bath, but I'm not having a bath tonight because I don't have time, it's too late. So I'll have to have a bath, like a proper soak, tomorrow, and hopefully I don't get paint on anything. So yeah, but I am going to get this off as much as I possibly can. I'm going to just use oil, strip it all off, and then keep going until it's all off. So yeah, if you did like this look and like my Halloween series, my Tim Burton series, then give me a big thumbs up down below. I am going to pop this into the Halloween playlist, but I'm also going to make a Tim Burton playlist of like my Beetlejuice, this, all my other videos I've done for Halloween, my Jack, my Mrs. Lovett, everything. It's all going to be in there, and any future Tim Burton looks I do will also be in there. So yeah, make sure to go and check out the rest of the videos in there. I will also have them linked down below anyway, so you can check it out there. I'll have a full list of products listed down below as well. Social media down there so you can see more pictures and stuff. I always take a lot of pictures, so I'm usually going to post them on Instagram. Is usually, I say usually, I haven't posted there in ages, but usually where I post. It's where I post the most anyway. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. What's your favourite Tim Burton character? What's your favourite of all these characters? And would you dress up as this for Halloween? Ignore the wig and the body paint part, even though this is the bit I'm not proud of, but like obviously I wouldn't wear this out because I just have like a little top on. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think, and subscribe down below to see more videos. I've got all my winter looks coming up, my lush stuff coming up. I don't know what I'm doing with the lush stuff and yeah, more tutorials, more videos, more random videos, and I'm hopefully going to be rearranging all my drawers, all my makeup drawers, so hopefully eventually I'm going to do a makeup collection. Don't know when, but eventually, like usual. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video, guys.